Have you ever been in Chicago's O'Hare Airport and wondered why it's named O'Hare? Well, it's named after this man, Edward Butch O'Hare, who was the U.S. Navy's first official ace of the Pacific War. And the story of how he obtained ace status is nuts because he was a part of a U.S. carrier raid on the USS Lexington on February 20th, 1942, when they were spotted by the Japanese. And the Japanese sent 17 G4M1 Betty bombers to try and sink the Lexington. And the F-4F Wildcats, which he flew one of those, were up fighting off these bombers. And at one point, there was nothing between the Lexington and 8 Betty bombers except for Butch O'Hare and his wingman, whose wingman's guns immediately jammed. So it was Butch O'Hare versus 8 Betty bombers. That's not a spot you want to be unless you're Butch O'Hare, because these Betty bombers, they have a ton of armaments to shoot at other planes. But Butch O'Hare put on a show this day. All sorts of crazy maneuvers, all sorts of just crazy feats that he pulled off, and he ended up getting credited with 5 kills, shooting down 5 Betty bombers and injuring 1 more. Just nuts. And then as he's going back to land on the USS Lexington, He's got his wheels down, he's coming around to land, and a Lexington gunner shoots at him. And when he lands, he calmly goes and confronts the man, and he says, "Son, if you don't stop shooting at me when I've got my wheels down, I'm going to have to report you to the gunnery officer." This day earned him the Medal of Honor, which he then went back to the U.S. and he did a little Medal of Honor War Bonds tour, which is not infrequent for Medal of Honor recipients. But later he returned to the war, and he served in different combat aerial operations in 1943 until he was lost during a night operation around the Gilberts in 1943. He disappeared, he was missing in action, and they declared him dead later. He's not from Chicago, though. He's actually from St. Louis, but nonetheless, in 1949, they named the airport after him, thus O'Hare Airport. And while we're here, another fun fact, Midway Airport, also in Chicago, is named after the Battle of Midway, which maybe I'm dumb, but I never even considered that possibility because, Chicago's got the whole Monsters of the Midway thing, and they are kind of midway across the country, so I kind of just assumed that. But no, both airports in Chicago are named after significant World War II people or events.